What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Pro Winston here, one and only. But this is a special profile because Justin is the only profile that I will be doing in top 32. I don't know why he's out, but that's all right. I'm going to take that up with the officials later, all right? Something happened in this match. I don't understand why, but he was my favorite to win. But without further ado, shoot it at Justin, all right?
Let's go, baby.
Justin, how are you doing this weekend?
I'm doing pretty good. The whole weekend went well. We got pretty litty last night.
A little litty.
A little litty. We came back for day 2. We won round 10, round 11. Knocked out beat up the only undefeated.
All right.
Down. It was pretty nice. Just kind of wish I didn't have to play my boy, who unfortunately I hella bricked game 1. He had the Ash game 3 for the Max C. If it wasn't that, I'd be in top 16, if not higher.
So let me ask you something, because you said we multiple times. Who the hell is we?
We is going to be the 2 YouTubers right
okay.
here. We got Slim, Asian Persuasion.
Oh, Angry Persuasion.
Oh, yeah.
Angry Persuasion. Angry Persuasion.
Last night he was drunk in the streets of Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
All right, yeah.
I don't know the truth.
All right, so what was your hardest matchups this weekend?
Honestly, no matchup was my hardest matchup.
So what deck are you playing?
I'm playing Spyral.
Isn't that the best deck?
It is by far the best.
That's the reason why I came out this weekend to play, and I lost my feature match. There's going to be a link below. Those frogs is awesome, and I can't hate on them, bro. He really did what he had to do with that chain trap card to change the target of my super agent, but nevertheless, bro, I was watching some of your games. I was very impressed. Yu-Gi-Oh! has evolved. And the deck that you piloted, which other people piloted, was a very good deck. I don't know why this deck is allowed. Evenly Matched even came out, and people still found the way to beat it. You found numerous ways to overcome that trap card. So you got the pink deck box. You got the pink sneakers. Let me see the broken deck. Let's start with the monsters.
Let's go, for the monster count, we have, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have...
It doesn't matter what monsters you got, just go one by one.
So we start off with the DD Crow. The DD Crow is only searchable by the DUELIST. Honestly, that's the only reason I really play it, is just to get the quick fix back in the grave, so that way I can special it again. Next we played...
Hold the fucking phone.
Oh my. Hold the We got him rolling.
This motherfucker's main deck in cherries? No. So you was ready for this event?
Yeah. So I only main decked the 1 cherries. I read a Road to the King article.
Zoom in on the cherries, please. Zoom in on the cherries. Price up, price. Go ahead.
So I read an article on Road to the King, and it's a player that was in Japan, and he played every single mirror match. He was the only one to play the Lord Gaia card with a Gateway of Chaos, swapping out with the Zephyra. His reasoning behind it, he didn't even side more copies. He said, during the game 1, if I can see it, I see it. It's a card that is really bad mid to late game, so if you can see it game 1, and it's there, it's going to win you the game. I got cherries pretty much every match, and I didn't lose a single time I got cherried. The better players are going to know how to play around it and make sure that their board's still going to be live.
All right.
Because essentially it's 1 card down from their hand, and I don't have to worry about other cards.
Okay.
Next we have Maxi. Maxi is obviously pretty staple. 2 Ash Blossom. The only reason I have this at 2 is just because I believe the next hand trap is the way better hand trap. Drill and Lockbird. It's pretty much like a hand trap that is like in a form of barrier for this mirror match, because they can't plus infinitely and make the ridiculous boards because they don't have the resources. It's really good against Pendulum Magicians, especially if they go scale, activate Duelist Alliance. After you see what they choose, if they don't choose the trap, you draw and lock, because then you lock them out of their trap, and all you have to do is deal with the Bagoo skill. Next we have the one of for the Destrudo. For a long time, at first I thought this card was bad right now because we don't have Code Talker. The fact that I thought it was bad is because I focused too much on it, using it to go into Ancient Fairy. What I really found myself doing is to use it as an extender. I would pay half my life. If I had like a Machine Monster plus Machine Dupe and it was in the mirror match and I had the field spell, I would just pay 4,000 to summon this, and then they would try to wait till I went to the Ancient Fairy, but I'd just go immediately into the Borolo Dragon, and I'd take their sleeper and start blowing up their shit. Oh boy. That's it for the hand traps. Next we go into the Spyral monsters. 3 Drone. This guy is OG Big Eye on crack. You always get to control what your opponent's playing. Next is Quick Fix. This dude is in here for a reason. He fixes all your hands. He fixes every position you could be in. Next is going to be the Spyral Super Agent. We played 3 of. I was testing like 2 at first. 3 just seemed really necessary for the fact that sometimes you could just open it and drone, and that'll get you to where you want to be. Next, the one-ofs is going to be the Master Plan. She's Brick City normally. Next is Sleeper. I mean, I guess I might as well not give away my secrets, but pretty much if I had 2 field spells, I'd always search this first. That's how you play around Droll. Yeah. Next is Resort. A lot of people don't understand how this card works when you get set rotation. I'm not going to explain that because I want some more wins. That's it for the monsters. Next we go into 3 set rotations. This card, I wanted it because I had heard a lot of pro players were going to be maining evenly matched. This card is hands down the easiest card to be evenly matched because you give them a card they can't activate it from hand. I had an opponent that actually tried to activate it from hand, and I was like, bro, you have a card that you control. Not going to happen. Next, we got to go to the OG search for the field spell, Terraforming. For the field spells, we play Dragon's Ravine.
Stop. Negative. Hold the phone.
Hold up.
I need to know why you only are playing 2 set rotations.
You mean terraformings?
I'm sorry, terraformings.
Okay, so my reason behind this is that if you look at the OCG, their consistency, I watched a lot of their videos. If you open field spell plus set rotation, you're already all the way through all your field spells. And then this card shuts off evenly match. So essentially, you only need to see this once. And because we're playing 5 field spells and we activate this one, we're already down 2, so we have 3. But like if you summon Master Plan, which you will off of the first set rotation, you'll be down to 2. So essentially, I will end up with 1 dead card later on in the game. So it makes it to where I don't have to worry about dead cards. It adds consistency.
So this is what Yu-Gi-Oh has came to, all right? And this is why I consider him to be a very good player. And he may not know me from a hole in the wall, but I know of him this weekend. If you just heard what he said, through testing, through research, through analyzing different combos and different articles, he has minimized the way he calculated dead cards in his hand. I've saw numerous players over this weekend draw dead field cards, dead spell, and they couldn't do shit with it. And this is the problem. Everyone picks up the best deck because it's the best deck, but they don't know why it's the best deck. They don't know how it's the best deck, and they will never be pro. They will never have pro in their middle name. I don't understand these people. But this guy right here is giving you an example of how he is going to be one of the few people that Konami's going to have to ask why they should ban this deck. Because he's telling you why the deck is good. He's telling you why the deck is stupid. And everybody and their mother's playing 3 terraformings, 3 set rotations, 3 pseudo spaces for God knows what reason. I don't fucking understand these things. Please continue with your next card.
So we go back to the Dragon Ravine. Its main utility sometimes can be like if you open Quick Fix and the Super Agent, you can just send the Quick Fix with this, and then you can go ahead and get your Destrudo. And then you can bring back, like you can normal summon your Quick Fix, or you can normal summon your Super Agent, and then bring out the Quick Fix, get a search, and then you can actually use Destrudo to hit to level drop the Super Agent, and then you just make the Double Helix, and then you use Double Helix's effect, and you can start comboing off a little bit better, and it creates the space that you need for the Ancient Fairy. Next we go to the Oracle of Zephyra. I chose this card over Gateway of Chaos. For 2 reasons. I think Gateway of Chaos being a super at like $18 is just stupid. And then everyone was already prepped for the Gateway of Chaos, like citing the Lord Gaia.
I main deck Lord Gaia.
Yeah, everyone prepped for it, but like the better reason behind this is that there is absolutely no good Zephyr card. Like no Zephyr card nets you any sort of advantage. So that was the reason behind this one. And then we go into the busted field spell of the of the resort. So this card teaches you any Spyral card, but the best part is it starts to recycle your hand traps. Next is Double Summon. I'm pretty sure I only activated this card once. The reasoning behind Double Summon, I looked a little bit more at the OCG again. They completely cut Machine Dupe because they realized that it getting ashed and then it's just not as good. And this always secures that you're gonna make it and you're not gonna get ashed. So it's gonna be to the point to where you can if they want to droll, you can immediately go into the Double Helix, bring out Master Plan, and then link summon with those, and then you get your 2 searches instead of 1. So you're infinitely getting Sleeper plus Field Spell, and you don't have to worry about the droll or the ash. Next, just because this card it's a win more card. For the one-ofs, we play Foolish Burial. This card, it won me 1 game actually because I got to send the Quick Fix and I had the Super Agent in hand, and it was what got me into the gateway that I needed. So it was able to put me into the game. 1 for 1. The reasoning behind this doesn't really need to be explained, just because of the fact that like it is, your main monsters are the level 1s. Next is Spyral Gear, Big Red. This card has so many versatility uses. If your opponent trolls you and you feel like you're just gonna die to battle, you just activate this, and then you bring out either like one of the little guys and you just put him in defense because it can't be destroyed by battle, and like half the players don't even understand that the card says your monster doesn't get destroyed by battle.
Especially when it's in a different language.
Oh yeah, dude, my whole deck was.
I'm gonna get into that and your wallet next.
Alrighty, and then Soul Charge. Shout out to my boy Justin Singh. He signed this. Every time I've seen this card, I never lost, besides in the feature match, but that's only because after the Soul Charge, he struggling battled me after already drolling and cherrying me, like using cherry on me twice in 4 turns.
I'm sorry, but we're not in OCG. What is that card you just named?
Okay, evenly matched.
There it is.
The super high price card that people were paying $95 for that didn't do crap this event.
Because you knew how to play around.
Yeah, so I'm glad that I could make vendors money.
Oh yes, see vendors, shout out to him once again.
Alright, and then we got for the traps, we have the Spyral Mission Rescue. This card, I thought about playing that too for a while. Really, the way I view it is like, if you know how to combo off correctly, you can leave this in the grave for if they do evenly match you, and you should have a double helix in the graveyard. So that way you can leave the sleeper, you can activate this, and you'll bring back double helix, or you can bring back quick fix to search to try and get something going for next turn also, but give a target for the sleeper to kill, so that way you can kill 2 cards without popping himself. And then Utility Wire. This card is Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, but it's only accessible if you control a super agent, which is kind of good, kind of bad. This card can work with that too, with like special summoning the double helix from the graveyard to make this live again if they board wipe you.
Yeah. What card made that?
42. Yeah, I got the Reaper. The Reaper was the last minute.
So, I have a question. Yeah. Because I did this earlier in the day, yesterday, when I was still in the tournament. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe if you don't know how to do the combo, you should at least know how to attack a person directly or boost him up to the point where he's unstoppable.
Oh yeah, discard a card.
Because Angry Persuasion here was looking at one of my games, and this was like my field, right? So he had, what's that Ghost Trick card? Whatever that card is. That card wasn't out when I was pro, but nevertheless, this was in the graveyard. This was in the graveyard. So and he had like, I think 5 cards on the field. So I activated this. I special summon that, of course, used his effect, pumped him up to Jesus Christ knows how much. Yeah, and then I did it again. Then I did it again. God. Right, so this guy was literally at like 8,000 plus.
Yeah.
And he left his attack, and he left his monsters in attack, and he only had like 2,000 left. And he really thought he had me. Like he had Firewall, Delahim, Ghost Trick, Faggot, I don't know. Spyral, Proxy. I don't know what cards he had, but if you cannot do the combo, do you suggest people read other effects of cards? Like, I wasn't gonna send this to graveyard for him to attack directly because I didn't want him to do anything stupid, right? But this guy went to like 8,000, and I just attacked and made him lose like 6,000. Okay. Do you agree that that move is good if you can't do the combo, or would you just end?
1 second.
He's waving.
Zoom in on this. Zoom in on this. Okay. Yes, thank you.
So this card states that in order for it to attack directly, it says that once per turn this card is, if it's equipped by this effect, you can send one of the card you control to the graveyard, which is cost. So initially what I feel like you should have done was when you brought this out the first time, you should have just activated this effect to send it and then brought it back out to make him big and then just hit him directly and then start blowing up his shit.
Correct.
By targeting himself, so that way you could get a full-on attack and get max damage you can, and then start using this card. Because when you bring this out the second time, you don't have to target himself because he can't be destroyed by card effect. You can target this, target 2, and then activate this, and then it'll still resolve because you still destroy their 2 cards, but he'll still get the buff. So you cleared 2 monsters off his effect. They still can't target because of the resort, and then you're getting a direct attack. And the following turn, if they're bored, if they don't have anything to come back, you just immediately use his effect again to clear the board again.
See? So someone called me crazy because I didn't want to attack directly. I just wanted to attack his proxy dragon with a monster that was 5,000 plus the and I had that. No, hold up. I had this face down because I had the Helix, but just in case, right? I just wanted to attack with a monster that was plus 5,000 over his Proxy Dragon to ensure game, right? So if this card attacks the Proxy Dragon, he's losing more than 5,000.
Yeah, so okay, so this already gained 25 and he's at 28, so your direct attack with this is like almost like 6k, or it's like 55. So on top of that, the fact of if you went through like a little bit of your combo correctly, the double helix should already be at 2,500. So with the proxy, with the Dolahan being at 1,000, if you attack directly with this and then you attack the Dolahan, you should do an additional 15. So you should be almost hitting him for 7,100 life. Correct. So like that would have been a little bit better play because you would have kept these and then you would have gotten more damage. Like you would have maximized your amount of damage and then you would have still been able to clear cards.
Okay, so back to my original question. Do you think that players that do not know how to play the deck should just always go for like game when they see it, or continue to do the combos to look fancy? Because what I just showed you was me just attacking the Proxy Dragon because I know it's automatic game.
Yeah.
Whereas I could just do the fancy things, attack directly, and do all that other stuff.
So as a player standpoint, for me, I don't like to go into time. I'm not one that loves time. So you would just attack. I would just get the game over with, or I would ask if my opponent understands that I do have lethal on board. Oh, lethal. And, yeah. So I always ask.
Let me fix my contacts.
I always ask if I have if they understand that I have lethal on board. That meaning I can just end the game with what I have. And if they don't understand, I'll continue with it. I'll make the play and I'll show them that this is game. Just so that way I can get on to the next game. That way I'm not going into
Amazing.
time.
Yes, yes. All right, thank you. We will fix this later. Let's go to the side deck.
All right, for the side deck, this was hella last minute build. So Game of Seals, like 2 Game of Seals. The thought process is that the main thing you want to side in going second is you want to side in. For most people, this event was going to be Struggling Battle and Cherries, but I realized that the deck functions completely fine without both of those. So I realized that 2 Gamma Seals was going to be what I wanted to get rid of the sleeper. Without the sleeper, if I have field spell, the firewalls are shut off, the utility wire is shut off. Then after that, I played 2 Book of Eclipse. The reasoning behind this is that this card is absolutely great against any rogue deck. If you play it in the mirror and you go first, you can set this if you have a sleeper. So if you have this set, they go to start making a board. You just use sleeper to pop cards, and if they try to bounce back, you just shut off their access into the double helix. Then next we have Cosmic Cyclone. I didn't side this in actually really all weekend. I played 2 Pendulum matchups. The rest was literally all
that deck is hot garbage.
Yeah, I mean I got caught off by an Apex Avion in a game 2. It was lit. And then next we have the board wipes because clearing boards is really good. Early in the tournament, I ended up siding, my usual side was like this. These were about the only 5 cards I played all event for the side deck. Early on in the tournament, I think it was round 2. I saw this plus Raigeki, and I activate this, only setting his sleeper face down, and then I Raigeki'd him, and I blew up his board. And then his spells and traps ended up getting destroyed because the sleeper got destroyed. But my opponent didn't understand the fact that the Spyral double helix in the graveyard would actually get special summoned because of sleeper's effect. Even if he had done it, it was still game. But it's just the understanding that you can shut off the problem card that you can't get rid of, and then you can get rid of it. Next we have 2 Chaos Trap Holes.
Wow, I didn't see this coming.
So the reasoning behind this is this card hits all the main heavy hitters within this meta right now. So it hits Masterpiece, it hits Sleeper, it hits all Pendulum, all the Pendulum deck. I actually had a guy pin 5 from his hand, and I flipped this, and he got super salty. He lost all 5 monsters. And then this card just has a lot of versatility, just because it can hit multiple summons, and then it hits all the heavy hitters in the meta. The last card is actually kind of a tech card, just because I decided to play 3 different Dimension Grounds because there's people playing Light Sworns. Shout out to Slim and Agent Persuasion, dog, they love the deck. It was looking pretty nutty last night. I wasn't about to deal with that. And then we also have I thought Infernoids would be pretty big, just because the way the deck functioned, you have unlimited resources. Especially with the new Fire King rare that just came out, that card makes that deck a lot more nutty. And then otherwise, I did side this in a few times in the mirror. I had an opponent that decided to summon Quick Fix. He had the field spell, and he summons Quick Fix. He then machine dupes it, and I let him know that it's okay. I let him get 2 searches off, but then I activate Utility Wire, return the field spell. Then after resolution, I chained Sleeper's effect to destroy Tube, and then I chained this, and he immediately scooped it up.
Take notes, black pen, take notes.
So that's it for the side deck. If I was to change anything, I'd probably...
No. Don't tell them that. Are you crazy?
All right. We got it.
Yes, because you need to go to San Diego.
Yeah.
I know.
All right. This is my field center. Shout out to some of my teammates, my boys back at home, back in Illinois.
Name 3 of them right now.
Name them. We got Patrick Guilfoyle, Kazan, and let's see. I don't remember Dylan's last name, but he works with the Guardian Cards.
Okay.
So those are 3 of them, and then I'm a part of 2 teams right now.
2 teams.
Yeah.
So he's a bi-teamer.
Yeah.
Bi-teamer.
I'm really close with like the people that are on the NFC, and then I was a part of the Wise Guys for a long time. So I mean, I'm always gonna support them because I feel like they're the reason why I got my start where I'm at in this game has really grown because of them. So
shout outs to both of them.
Shout outs to both. I wouldn't say either team is better than the other. So extra deck, we got the Ancient Fairy Dragon. This is literally only for the Destrudo. Next we got the Lyrilisc. Lyrilisc is, I actually didn't know something about this card. So I never wanted to read this card other than the fact that I know I can detach, I can detach, get a DD Crow and special summon a monster back. So I actually was playing a game against the mirror match. I had cherried his double helix, and he machine duped 3 drones. He machine duped, brought out 3 drones, and then he looked at my top deck. He brought out the super agent, and like I was like, okay, that's cool. He made this. This was the only card he made, and so I had a double helix that was at 7,500 attack, and he was still at full life because I went first. So he attacks directly into it, and he deals 7,500 to himself, and then the 7,500 that he hit me for was game, because I used a Strudo.
And you did not know that.
I didn't know that. Well, yeah, I didn't know that I took the same damage.
Cylinders.
Yeah.
That happened to me. Someone told me that it was a cylinders, and then I was in a tournament in the locals, and I attacked, and they said that I lost life, and I cursed them out, and then I read the card, and I apologized to them later. But yeah.
Next we got Dolhan. I noticed that a lot of people chose and opted not to play this. This card is actually extremely good, especially with Masterpiece, just because if it's unaffected by monster effects, this card gets over it. It allows you to get over it. It allows you to get over a lot of things. Next is Silver Princess Sprite. This card's just good because after, like, throughout your combo, you're gonna have like 3 or 4 you're gonna have maybe like 8 monsters total left, and then you have the Princess Sprite to be able to mill. We have the Baguska because there is a play string where you can make Baguska. The main reason I did it was because Baguska is a problem card when it comes to pendulums. So with the main deck cherries, I always have the option to just get rid of the Baguska. Next we have only 2 double helix. I would play 3, but this would require me playing the Pot of Acquisitiveness. But I've realized that in the mirror for this event, people are going to realize that cherries isn't 100% optimal just because I thought it wasn't optimal, but everyone decided it. So I should have probably played the 3rd and then played the Pot of Acquisitiveness to put it back, and then just leave myself with a +1 off their cherries. Next is Ib. Ib is just phenomenal. This is the only way you avoid board wipes when it comes to the monsters next to it. If you have Proxy, Proxy can't protect it because Proxy is also being destroyed at the same time. Next is Proxy, just because it's a link to Decode Talker. This card's really good. Whenever I get like cherries or drolled, a lot of the times my ending board would be like Decode with Sleeper, Resort, and then like Last Resort, and my opponents just couldn't deal with it. The next is Gaia Saber. The reason you play Gaia Saber is because Gaia Saber can extra link your opponent out. And then next is Ningrisu. Ningrisu gets rid of problem cards because of the fact that it does not target. And then also, if you do the play string correctly, you can extra link, draw a card, and get rid of a problem card without having to target. Next we have, probably, I'm going to be honest, the MVP card of the whole fucking weekend.
That card is stupid.
This card is nutty. Boral Dragon has won me so many games. I had an opponent, I'm pretty sure it was last day, yesterday, round 9. He makes his board turn 1. I have Terraforming, the field spell, quick fix, machine dupe, and I had the Destrudo in hand. So he asked me if I just want to scoop it up, and I told him no. So I baited the utility wire in the sleeper by playing 2 field spells. So I then summon a quick fix, and I search for the big red. I machine duped the quick fix, and he's like, I was like, anything on resolution, and he's like, no, that's fine. So I pay half my life for Destrudo, and I was like, anything on the resolution. I know immediately that he thinks I'm gonna go for Ancient Fairy. I just sent all 4, brought this, took the sleeper, blew up 2 during his turn, like during my turn, passed, tacked over something, passed turn, blew up 2 more cards during his turn. And then during his in phase, I was like, I don't need your sleeper anymore.
Yeah, just give it to him. Give it to him.
So it was nice. Then double Firewall was in the extra deck also. Shout outs to Justin for the signed one again. That's my boy.
Show man, shout outs.
Alright, so shout outs I'm gonna shout out Guardian Games. That store is phenomenal. Alex is an amazing man. He's lent me multiple cards. Other shout outs is gonna be Team Wise Guys and Team NFC. The reason behind both shout-outs for the teams is going to be because of the fact that both have built me as a player, both have extended me and pushed me to my limits. Since joining both, I've become more of a competitive player, understood more of the game, and really researched and play tested more. I wish that some of the players on Wise Guys was a little bit more active and were willing to get on the level that I want to be competitively. Other than that, I got shout-outs for Travis and my boy Joey. They lent me the double helixes. So hopefully they just hand them over because I already swapped them for Germans. Figured I might as well up it. Other than that, man, shout outs to everyone that came with me. My boy Jeffrey Tuzio, this boy has gone to me with every event. We've been on the roads for
and he beat me in my feature match with that 3,000 man attacking my sleeper when I had 200.
Shout outs to Greg Farley for the Wise Guys. Shout out to my boy Kazden for just getting married, not being able to attend the event. I was hoping.
Congratulations, bro.
I was hoping to bring home the prize card in the trophy form. You know, give it to him, let him put it up for a nice.
Give him the
present. I was planning on it. And then I guess other shout-outs is just to my boys for the YouTubers. They made this weekend lit. Shout-out to everyone that just spent the weekend together.
For sure, man. Congrats.
You already know. If it's not pro, it got to go. Deuces.
Woo! We got the JAREL WINSTON ending, baby.
Yo.